The holy grail of Kanye West songs has been on Earth, and it only cost $25,000 to be released. And if you're wondering why a Kanye West song is worth over $25,000, then stick around, because the lore that this song has is one of the wildest and most legendary stories in hip-hop. A story that involves extortion, hacking, scamming, and damn near everything in between. But to tell the story right, we need to start at the beginning. In 2013, Kanye West released Yeezus, which mostly confuses the ever-living shit out of anyone who listened to the record.
You not like the reception Yeezus has gotten? Cause I didn't like the album at all, and I was a Kanye West fan.
Yeah.
But Yeezus was whack to me.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Though the view of the record might be more favorable now, with it being looked at as this great step in experimentation in the Kanye career, it is important to note that this is not what people saw in 2013.
I'm not even gonna pull the pretentious, I listen to more experimental music than you do, so I know more, because I've seen that argument. You don't even have to go there. That has nothing to do with it. It's just not well made.
It's not good.
You have a bunch of chopped up beats. Like I said before, I keep repeating myself, but it just sounds like Kanye is trying his hardest to be weird.
Still though, regardless of all the bad reviews and all the noise, if there was someone who believed in Yeezus, it was the man going around in interviews calling himself God. And because of this belief in the concept of Yeezus, the album, Kanye West was planning Yeezus 2, which was planned to include everything left out of Yeezus, basically what Untitled Unmastered was for To Pimp a Butterfly. Of course though, the record would never come out, with the idea ultimately being scrapped. And among all of those songs that never got to see an official light of day was a song by the name of Never Let Me Go, which does eventually turn into this $30,000 song, but for now it's just a track that Kanye is working on. By the way, have y'all ever watched Never Let Me Go or read the book? It's a pretty interesting story, I'll say that. Anyways, there's a couple of versions of this track. Some have Kanye mumbling through it all, some have reference vocals for Rihanna, but ultimately Never Let Me Go as a song was ultimately scrapped. At least most of the elements of it, because the bones of this track would be reworked into what we now know as Can You Be, which is also commonly referred to as Pressure and Get Off. But before we get into how this track turned into such a valuable masterpiece or whatever the fuck, can y'all subscribe please? I'm like very close to 36,000, so I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate a like too, because this video was not easy to research, but that's just me. By 2015, Yeezus 2 was long ago abandoned. Kanye West was focusing on an album that he called Swish, which would later turn into The Life of Pablo. But in these early stages of the album, Never Let Me Go was being reworked to Can You Be, a track that Kanye fans knew nothing about until his Glastonbury 2015 performance. Now, if you remember anything about Kanye's Glastonbury 2015 performance, it probably isn't Can You Be, mainly because it isn't part of the actual performance, and because the actual performance was so bad that it gathered over 50,000 signatures to ban Kanye from ever performing there again. Which personally, I mean, I haven't heard it, but I don't think it's that bad. Maybe they just didn't like Kanye singing Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know. Anyways though, this is where Kanye fans would first get a taste of what Can You Be sounded like. And whether Kanye knew it or not, this would begin the hype train that became Can You Be. But for now, Kanye fans looked at it as a song that was going to be on Kanye's next album. Through 2015 and 2016, a lot of leaks and snippets came out of the song. Leaks and snippets that I would actually play if I knew they were real. And you'll understand what I mean as we go forward. Anyways, the reason why it's important to note these leaks and snippets is because as the community grew more infatuated with the song, so did the theories with the song. People theorized on who the feature on this song was, from people naming names like Frank Ocean, Kid Cudi, Drake, as well as people hyping up this outro that the song apparently had, which ended up not even being an outro but a whole separate song. The point is, the community was hyped. However, at this point in time, relatively speaking, it was just a short little community that was really hyping this song up. But as 2017 was taking place, a hacker group by the name of Music Mafia would make sure that everybody knew about Can You Be. That is because some way or another, they managed to hack into Drake's personal Twitter account. And once they got in, they did nothing more than promote themselves. And if you're wondering what makes this hacker group so important and why exactly they would use Drake's Twitter account to promote themselves, well, this hacker group was in possession of many of hip-hop's most coveted songs, including none other than Can You Be. Of course, you might think this is a scam, there's no way these guys are real. No, they posted a snippet of what they had and it was legitimate. It was Kanye on Can You Be rapping. However, these guys weren't just giving it for free. If you wanted to listen to the full version of Can You Be, it would run you up to 2 Bitcoin, which at the time was around $5,000 to $6,000, which doesn't sound like a lot, but nowadays 2 Bitcoin is worth $134,000. So needless to say, it would have been a bad investment for someone to give 2 Bitcoin to listen to a Kanye song. And with no one paying up and releasing it to the public, Can You Be was presumed to be lost, especially after Music Mafia eventually disbanded. And from 2018 to 2020, there was really no traction in terms of the leaks. At least until October of 2020, when Shay Pope, former COO of Good Music, would randomly play a version of Can You Be on an IG Live. Can you be? Notably, this song was a massive advancement in terms of the song's lore because it finally revealed who that feature was. And as the story goes, the original feature wasn't Frank Ocean, it wasn't Kid Cudi, it wasn't Drake, but it was a reference track for the actual feature, one Travis Scott. And with such a high quality version of the song available, Kanye fans got to working editing this song and making it as high quality as they could. This led to many people thinking that this was the actual version of the song, as well as inspiring countless edits all around the community. This led to many fans thinking that Shay Pope would release the song, which he didn't, and he told people to let it go, but you know them Kanye fans, they never let it go. And though years went by without an update, surprisingly, it was none other than Adin Ross who would once again make the search for the song revive. He heard a snippet of the Travis Scott and Kanye West version and he wanted it, which led to him paying upwards of $200,000 for a version of the track. However, it resulted in being a little bit of a scam.
Wait, is that AI? Or is that real? No, I'm kidding. It's AI, bro. It's AI as fuck. It's
kind of. Although the Travis Scott parts were done with a little bit of AI, people soon realized that Kanye's parts seemed to be legitimate. And as the story goes, the theory is that this is the Music Mafia version, which lacked the Travis Scott feature, but did have all the Kanye West parts. For months, people thought the whole thing was AI, until people realized at least it was partly legitimate, which created a snowball effect leading to people finally the full version of Can You Be with Travis Scott and Kanye West on top of a bunch of other songs for $25,000, a price tag that the Kanye community came together to raise and pay forward, which means that as of May 2024, the full version of Can You Be by Kanye West featuring Travis Scott is out right now. Can you be? I grabbed that Coke 45 off my... Putting the end to one of the wildest and most legendary searches for a song in hip-hop history. Anyways, I do hate people that leak tracks though. I will say that. I know this is a leak, but this is a leak that wasn't going to be used anyways, so I don't mind it when it's that. I mind it when it's like an up-and-coming album that's coming out. Anyways, I've been reading this Malcolm X book. It's pretty interesting. Almost done with it. Pretty cool. The Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole video, by the way, I have not been editing it, but you know, it will come out eventually. With that being said, shout out to me, shout out to Jay Dilla, shout out to y'all, and shout out to God, man. And yeah,